Alliances turn to ban. NIPs turn to ban. Alliances turn to ban. NIPs turn to pick. Alliances turn to pick.
Tiny.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. NIPs turn to pick.
Oracle.
Alliances turn to pick.
Vengeful spirits.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. NIPs turn to ban.
Elder Titan.
As the sun begins to rise here in beautiful Australia, we get prepped and ready for our third and final series. It's Alliance taking on NIP. Winner goes 2-0, loser goes 1-1. I've got my panel back here ready for the draft. We have Godot, we have QO. Lads, Alliance versus NIP. What are we expecting from either of these?
Well, to begin with, both teams actually play pretty aggressive when it comes to laning phase emphasis. So you see your typical roaming fours for both teams, aggressive kind of playstyle 4-1, but generally a hard carry on both teams as well. So it's a similar playstyle, just Alliance is a little cleaner how they play.
We didn't see a lot of hard carries today. Like all the carries were getting picked like later on, or you know those cheese hero came out early.
Yeah, we've seen some
Alliances
spans,
turn
some
to
PAs,
ban.
Faceless Voids, you know, a Spectre here and there. So, yeah, I do agree with you. Not uber hard carries for us today.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick these hard carries now because generally they open up in a way where it's annoying to pick a certain carry, and then they ban out those carries that they would be more ideal for them. So
10
unless you open
seconds
up with the
remaining.
carry you want, you don't tend to have the option that you really want to take at the
5
second phase.
seconds
I think the
remaining.
massive change is that you can ban 3 heroes in the middle
NIPs,
phase. I think that's like
Alliances
the biggest
turn to
change.
ban.
Like that makes everyone like draft more harder. Like,
Do you think that this draft is going to change, the way that the bans works is going to change? Because, you know, recently I've been watching over the TI5 Grand Finals, and that's when we had 5 bans. So it was 2-2-1, but now it's 2-3-2. Do you think that this is
10
going to change up at
seconds
all?
remaining.
yeah, like I hope it changes to 3-2-2 at least. Like, you know,
5
back to
seconds
Like before.
remaining.
yeah,
Of course.
like before.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, right now it's shaping up strong lanes, as I was mentioning before. Oracle ET opener from Alliance. ET is a flexi pick, Oracle being pos 5, obviously. And then you have the Venge Tiny. Tiny most likely going for the hands off the position 4. And Venge, your typical pos 5. So they might do some pair ups with the Drow. Potentially do so they have played
10
before.
seconds remaining.
And I mean, right now it's just wide in the open of what kind of
5 seconds
opening they want to do
remaining.
in the second phase. But you can see by the bans here, there's already most of the range cores being banned out by Alliance here. Arc Warden, the Drow, so there's only really Morphling and Medusa, but you mainly play Medusa mids. And if you don't play the hard carries, you got OD, you got Templar Assassin for the other options as well for NIP.
What do we want to see, lads? What are these last couple of bans for NIP and Alliance? Because I guess there's not really much being revealed by these drafts so far.
But one thing that we know
Alliances
is
turn
like
to
this
ban.
Oracle and ET combo is like you pretty much want to win ET lane, and by not letting enemy having a Oracle, you can kind of secure one lane like with the ET, and especially when he's versing against Tiny as well. I think Alliance is the one who can actually
10 seconds
secure the
remaining.
lane like well at the moment, but
5 seconds remaining.
They've banned out
to
a
see.
lot of heroes as well, mainly Limp's heroes here, Death Prophet, the Timbersaw as well. They even respect banned their own Magnus. Saberlight's Magnus just too OP, they had to ban it themselves, right?
Don't want to have anybody in clips this time around.
But in general, yeah, it's they can pick anything they want to, depending on the opening of Alliance. So ideally, you need to emphasize a little bit more team fight for NIP. But generally, they haven't really done that. They
Alliances
normally
turn to
pick
pick.
these aggressive synergy heroes with the heroes that they open up with.
NIP's
So-
turn to pick.
Let's
So we'll
see.
need to kind of a range call for NIP, and then Alliance are just going
Wow,
to
Earth
dominate
Spirit.
us.
Okay, that means Elder Titan's most likely going to be played as the POS 3.
We've seen that a lot from the European
Or-
region, right, Cuba?
yeah, we've seen a lot, but we haven't seen Earth Spirit mid.
No, we haven't.
no
That's
one.
something that I'm very
Seconds
surprised.
Yeah,
remaining.
Limp. I'm pretty sure Limp will be able to play this hero in Earth
5
Spirit, and
seconds remaining.
like right now, like if it's typical EU games, like we have to expect that Oracle is 5, Earth Spirit 4, and ET 3.
Yeah.
But I think there's no way like team like Alliance wants to put themselves in that situation.
Yeah, in a predictable drafting
Yeah.
position. Yeah, I agree with you. The good thing about Alliance is normally they tend to leave Nico Baby's pick towards the later stages of the drafting phase. Same thing with Limp, because Limp picks these niche counter matchups in the mid lane to give him that edge, as well as just kind of snowball with the
Alliances
laning
turn to
advantage.
pick.
Beastmaster. It's a little interesting because, yes, it's one of NIP's heroes, but it's not really great against Oracle, both in the laning phase as well as in later stages of the game, because you can always just debuff the ultimate with your false promise. So I'm a little surprised that they picked this, especially now it kind of opens up
10
for
seconds
Phantom Lancer,
remaining.
right? It's a really good PL game for Alliance. There's just no way to deal with them. It's going to have a
5
pretty free
seconds
lane as well
remaining.
against the Beastmaster. And a lot of the heroes that you'd probably want to pair up with the Vengeful Spirit is banned. So, I mean, you can't really utilize the against the Phantom Lancer. You can't really use the Venge Dusa that effectively, especially in a game like this.
I want to see CK from Alliance, but I think they want to try to pick it on the last pick. Like if they, whatever it is, like with the Oracle, like Oracle +1 to actually beat, like do okay against Beastmaster is important.
Yeah.
If they ignore that
NIP's
factor,
turn
like
to
I think there's a high chance that Beastmaster can actually pull it
Oh,
out.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
pretty standard
Yes.
for Limp mid. He did play it in the previous series as well.
I have a question for you about this Chaos Knight, Cuba. What is kind of gravitating you towards that hero? Is it
I
just his
think-
laning phase that feels good?
Normally, when you
10
consider
seconds remaining.
Chaos Knight, is like when you see a lot of single targets from enemy hero, and when
5
they don't have
seconds
these
remaining.
illusion heroes. And at the moment, like Tiny is very obvious, Venge is very obvious, Beastmaster is also very obvious. So yeah, like
Yeah.
if it's a good looking game, then might
Pick
as well, I
Chaos
think
Knight?
they're gonna be.
Yeah, my main problem here is NIP's lanings aren't very flexible. As you pointed out, it's very obvious where they're going to be played, right? So, I mean, at most, maybe Tiny can be played middle, but it's more or less likely going to be the position 4. Assuming it's a middle Tiny, it's not going to really be able to pressure the Zeus, regardless of the case. So you're going to be giving Zeus free farm regardless.
Okay.
I mean, they
I'll-
had to pick either mid or safe lane, and they're just afraid that Lifestealer to get banned because there are so many carriers banned from
Yeah.
Alliance, right?
Is this good enough to go up against that ET lane? No, we've seen it wreak a bit of havoc here in the European region.
It's a
10
good
seconds
Lifestealer game,
remaining.
though. The natural BKB from Lifestealer is very good against
5
Zeus, very good against
seconds
Earth Spirit,
remaining.
as well as the Oracle.
Alliances turn
The
to
ET lane
ban.
might be a little annoying at the start, but he should be able to sustain the lane regardless. It's not like you're going to be able to kill the Lifestealer here, so it's also one of Charlie's preferred heroes in the safe lane, so it's just more of a confidence pick, I'd say, at this point in time.
Yeah, like I think his Lifestealer performance was
10 seconds
Yeah,
Yeah,
remaining.
in his first series, yeah, he did look really nice on that.
It
So
was interesting he skipped out on
5
the
seconds
Desolator, I
remaining.
think, as well. He went straight
going
AC
base
after
straight AC.
Armlets.
was he the lifestealer that was going BKB as
NIPs
well?
turn to ban.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was the Lifestealer who went BKB
Yeah,
every
he
game.
went like third item BKB on like.
But I think if they don't block the big camps on the right side of the jungle, like I think ET can actually like right click the Lifestealer down. Like Lifestealer needs to
10
just
seconds
continuously hit
remaining.
someone to actually just get this region back and then have a sustainability in
seconds
the lane.
remaining.
But if that doesn't happen, like he just have to keep using himself and be ended up like
So
losing.
it'll basically just end up like every other
Alliances
melee carry
turn
against
to
an Elder
ban.
Titan. He
Yeah.
doesn't just keep up that pressure.
And look at
get rid of
these
those
bans
creeps.
coming out from NIP here, the Morphling as well as the Terrorblade. It would actually be really good for them both to be picked here. Combos with the Oracle, you can't really deal with the Terrorblade as well as the Morphling with the Lifestealer. I still think Phantom Lancer looks pretty good here.
10
There's no
seconds
real
remaining.
answer to it right now. It might be a little greedy, obviously, 'cause since you have the
5
Zeus, but that
seconds
is Alliance
remaining.
playstyle. They tend to play these hard carries for Nico Baby. Generally, Limp just farms and then gets those timings. For example, you can just get that Axe timing and just utilize
Yeah.
that to fight. And they have like these 3 aggressive opening heroes, which allows them to actually fight regardless of being a little bit slower when it comes to the mid as well as the carry heroes. So seems like they could just drag out the game and play for the later stages of the game, and it seems pretty easy to go against in the NIP lineup currently in the
turn
late
to
game.
pick.
What are we thinking for NIP, lads? They need their mid
I'm
hero here
surprised.
for Supreme.
Surprised they didn't ban Templar Assassin. Versing against Oracle, Earth Spirit, Zeus, they all like not that great
Mhm.
against Lifestealer. And
10 seconds
I think
remaining.
once you can get this like a 15-minute, 16-minute Deso and big
5
Blink Dagger and
seconds
like maybe
remaining.
20-minute BKB, like I think they can actually secure the game here with the additional bonus from Vengeful Spirit, like
Yeah.
Aura and
Yeah, that is
Beastmaster
true.
Aura.
There's 2 things I'm worried about the Templar Assassin. Well, actually, one thing is the pros is you can get really ahead early game by snowballing the lane, getting those timings.
Alliances turn
But at the
to
same
pick.
time, I feel like if it doesn't have that
Strong
perfect
spirit.
game for Templar Assassin, it's very easy for the Earth Spirit to punish her as
Yep.
well in the later stages. I like the Storm pick more. This game, it's a natural bomb carrier as well for the Lifestealer, and it's going to be able to punish the Zeus as well, just as much as the Templar, right? So
Yeah. I mean, Alliance like
10 seconds
drafts
remaining.
are very passive at the moment. Like ET's like very ignorable, and
5
Zeus needs like
seconds
some
remaining.
stuns. Like this Earth Spirit has to do so much.
Do you think Hanskin has to do a lot of work here for Alliance?
he's going to be like a Tiger Spirit in the previous
Mhm.
series.
So we're
Better
still sitting on the Phantom Lancer here, boys. Yeah.
Well,
have
Storm
too much
is
time.
not bad against PL,
Phantom,
but...
now
PA,
select your
eh?
heroes.
Alright, this is your hero, Kyo. Input straight away.
Oh.
Do you actually prefer the PA hero over the PL?
Oh. I mean, you don't want to really pick PL against Storm, and maybe like Lifestealer in like a mid game.
Yeah.
So it is sort of reasonable, but I think they're gonna have a lot more rough game in early to mid game. Like they might have like better lockdown in mid to late game with this Abyssal or like Satanic and stuff, but I'm
What
just
I-
not convinced.
Yeah, what I do like about the PA here, if they do start a tri lane in the safe lane and just secure that early advantage in the PA's lane, obviously Earth Spirit just rolling in with the Oracle Q, and Beastmaster is going to have a hard time. And I think this offlane is very
10
crucial to do well
seconds
for
remaining.
NIP because this is the lane that kind of sets the tempo. This is the lane that's going to
5
be
seconds
aggressive and
remaining.
kind of just give the lead for NIP to do whatever they want with the lifesteal later.
All right, lads, where are we going to stand here for our prediction? 3, game number 1, day number 6.
I think
Here's one, Germany.
Alliance.
I think I have
Yeah.
to go NIP here.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Kuo's going to split it down the middle here. We've got NIP, we've got Alliance here on my panel. Not quite sure where this one's going to go, so you guys have to wait and find out. Game number 1, just around the corner. Our casters is going to be Odie, Pixel, and Fog.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Fog, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Good. I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to this one. Alliance versus NIP. We're getting the PA, the Nico baby. PA coming through as the last pick. How'd you sort of rate it? Is this a game where Nico baby's going to be able to pop off, or NIP going to be able to shut him down?
I think I have to agree with what Q was saying. I think the early game could definitely be a bit rough, but hey, they're drafting for later stages. They have great ways to stall the game. They got Elder Titan Zeus. These are two of the best heroes to actually stall, especially particular to high ground. So I think they are playing for those later stages, and that's why they went for it.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen it before, just this ET hero, the things that he can do. And of course, as you did already, him with the Zeus, the amount of magical that's just going to be ripping
Prepare
through
for
heroes.
battle.
And later on, if that ET's able to step nice and close to someone and a PA happens to be jumping in as well, that's going to be a lot of physical damage coming in. So
Yeah. Definitely concerned though, because this early game, whenever I see Zeus picked into a tiny support, and I see like a hero like Storm or anything that can get into backlines, like we'll just talk about lanes, but mid lane, like he can just die. Like Tiny can, Era on this Tiny can make so much work. He can just constantly run mid, toss the Zeus in. It's very easy to do so because you're so fast as this Tiny in comparison. And then mid game, they always have the Storm to kind of get onto him, and they have Beastmaster Hawk to find him. So I do think for Limp, this game can be pretty difficult.
Oh, for sure. You just look at every single hero on NRP's lineup, and they all cause issues for the Zeus, right? You know, Lifestealers running you with Rage, Storms flying across the map onto you, Beastmaster's yelling at you, Tiny's comboing you, and Venge's probably swapping you into some sort of unfavorable position. I mean, the work's definitely going to be cut out this game for FNG on the Oracle. His saves are going to be so important. Probably for Limp in most of these situations. You know, he's probably going to be the one that's going to be more liable to dying in the front lines there in comparison to Nico Baby. At least Nico Baby's got a little bit of mobility and evasion, of course, built into his hero.
Yeah, and the one thing like Tolly's going to be nice is if he does use a false promise on Zeus, you'll still get your kit out. You just throw all your spells out before you do actually die.
Yeah.
So, and they have distractions. You know, Hanskin, they do have S4. These two frontline beefy heroes will try to make space for him. As I love this, you know, a little bit.
Looking for me?
Name, state the reason of the pause. No, Heinz is like, yeah. This is cracking me up. I don't know why.
Oh, I did see that. That was great. Well, that got pretty grim. His dog is barking. He ain't barking no more. Gee, what the hell happens? I hope he put him outside to have some fun in the garden.
Yeah.
Like, don't mess around. Well,
And we'll see how these lanes end up progressing and how they decide to set them up. As we see NIP, they're trying to dodge some type of lanes. It seems like Lifestealer wants to get in the favorable farm lane, not into the pressure lane of the Elder Titan in particular. Trying to see the Beastmaster up there. Now lanes are scouted up, so it is going to be this tri-lane starting. I like this. I think Oracle or Spirit plus PA, huge kill threat at level 1.
oh, Era.
It might be Era who walks into it.
Uh-oh. Been rolled upon Roots. A little toss back the PA, but Hanskin, he's in with the body blocks. Era trying to get his way around. He's not going to be able to do so. Nico Baby comes in for the finishing blow. First blood. Hey, in terms of bouncy rune, Era was at least able to grab that bounty rune bottom, but of course Nico Baby goes across and grabs that other one for themselves. So, first blood for the PA.
Not a safe place for Charlie, honestly. I don't really think that this looks too good for him. Venge and Lifestealer in the off lane versus an Oracle PA. Oracle PA is an incredibly strong lane. I don't really like this place for Charlie at all.
He's going to need at least, well, he's going to have to get a stick out ASAP on this bottom lane. They are going to start things off with the 3 of them down there. So it's just going to be him with the Venge. They are going to try lane into this duo of alliance.
I feel like then Hanskin just matches. I feel like Hanskin, like his TP's down for 35 seconds, but I feel like you just make the move down there and you match it as
the courier. Oh, he's trying to find it.
Radiant's
He's going to get the
has
PAs.
been killed.
And, he's going to use the wave to try and get vision, but the Duke's not there. No, he might still find this.
Radiant's courier
he's going to get
has been
both.
killed.
Oh, there we go. Easy peasy. That's the couriers for Misha.
That's a lot of money that Nico Baby was bringing out on that courier too. I think it was a Wraith Band and some regen, as well as FNG's regen and a Sentry Ward to be able to block out that Sentry that's blocking his pullback. Okay, so there we go. That's the approach. So they're going to secure Charlie's farm like that with the 3 heroes.
Yeah, so what's going on now in these other lanes? Mid lane, Limp on the Zeus against Supreme. How do things sort of happen here? I mean, is the Storm fine, or does he take a little too much harassment from the burst of the Zeus.
I think he farms just fine. I think most of these Zeuses are just gonna go the max arc lightning build anyway, a lot of the times. That 402 build that we saw popularized just to farm. Does a lot of damage anyway. And we'll see Misha try to work for those careers again.
Play there. Bottom lane, not only getting couriers, but also getting kills. I mean, this setup from NIP working out very fine so far, running this tri-lane down on the bottom lane.
Yeah, Beastmaster's still getting a bunch anyway, too. Yeah, this will work if they have the 3 down here. I like this a lot more. And like we said, they blocked the pole camp too. FNG, he had no courier. His courier respawns. He's trying to put everything on himself to pick it up. He can't quite bring his sentries, though. Did not have any bag space, so these wards will stay. And he also knows that there's an obs ward here, right where he's standing. He was pinging it out. He's very aware of the fact that NIP placed that one in the lane.
Mid lane, Supreme and Lim having a bit of a go at one another, both getting low. Top lane. Saberlight feeling very confident as this Beastmaster, just constantly keeping that poison onto the two of them.
I feel like if Hudson's here, they have to go for kills. They can't just play this lane passively up here.
All part of the plan.
Again, this bottom lane, a second time. They're finding FNG. The fact that they have both supports down here, and between the two of them, this sort of magic missile into the stun combo, it's enough to kill FNG each and every time they're on top of them. It's making it very hard for Neat Baby to have the confidence to actually be able to farm down here, and now he himself in trouble. Toss back over towards Charlie. God, Baby, he's taking hits here. He's got to pop the one, get back under the tower. He has got regen, but just continuing to just be off to a great start. This setup, this trialing, causing so many issues, and it does not matter at all that Saberlight's on his own up top. He's doing fine.
No, it's really hurting the Hudson's. They're staying up here, and they're not even really playing it super aggressive either. I'm kind of confused with why he's not going to the bottom.
Even when, I mean, what is the reason for him not wanting to compel the Beastmaster? We saw Saberlight push that lane far out. Do they just not have the damage between the two of them at the moment?
They were just off the mark with
We're gonna try
a
now.
couple times.
Here we go.
Time they will.
They wait for the level 3 on Hansken, and now they're in, diving the tower, sleep setups there, and that'll do it. What?
There is
It's
strength.
five
A lot of
back to
experience.
The
Is
XP.
under
Okay.
attack.
All right. I mean, I guess, yeah, early game buybacks, whatever. You said he doesn't care about the gold of Saberlight, just wants to make sure he's around for the creeps.
Super worth it, actually, that buyback. That kill now means like nothing, actually. The kill that Hansken's able to set up, and your PA is not getting much farm. Yeah, I'm still a little weirded by them just keeping that dual lane up top, because I feel like S4, he can actually do decent on his own in that matchup once he gets the levels started up for him, but it's a choice that they wanted to do. And they are 1k ahead because
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Man, Nico Babe is slowed down a decent amount here.
Yeah, not totally pulling out of the lane and had this pull coming in, but as you can see, the NIP will manage to hold its position.
Yeah, I think it really is just so much because that the whole camp is locked and they really don't want to split three-way experience. See Limp, he has level 6, so we will have to factor in that Thunder God's Wrath around the map. As will NIP if they do look to get aggressive at all, as they are making the move mid. Storm is level 6, as we said. Zeus can easily get dove by these rotations.
Yeah, I mean,
He does not have the
Radiant's middle
defense.
tower is under
yeah,
attack.
he's going to be in trouble. We'll drop a ward down now.
There's a Hawk right on top of him, too.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that Limp feels it. He knows that they're not showing down bottom. They're on the hunt. These two supports there, and Limp's ready for it. They're very unlikely to step back over towards the mid lane whilst these two supports are off the map.
Yeah, he's still jungling fast on build as top.
Yeah.
There we go, they'll find Saberlight again. And this time now his death is painful.
Yeah, he's dead for a long time. 50 seconds death timer at 5 minutes
Radiant's
in. That's
middle tower is under
time to go
attack.
make yourself a cup of coffee.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Limp uses his whole mana pool on some neutrals. Era, he will spot him, but he's already picked away. But now Tower is going to take a beating. This is the siege wave coming in.
Radiant structures are
I've been
fortified.
wanting this.
Radiant's middle tower
But these
is
moves
under
that the
attack.
supports have been making, you know, Nico Baby, of course, just getting some solid space to catch up and farm. No pressure at all at the moment in the lane. And it's just
Okay.
Charlie around, so you can totally free farm.
It ends up all being pretty decent the way that they did set it all up. Because of this. He's completely recovered. All the lanes are doing great, so it ends up being okay. Then Hansken's up there.
Hansken, he does try to step in on this, but straight away NIP will collapse upon him. Toss up from Era, and Hansken's gone. But also moving over, not quite having the 6 though, so no setup from him. quick plays and Supreme making good use of the arcane ring. FNG's got to be careful as he walks straight away into Misha. As Misha, they claim the Courier and FNG's life. Another death hit from FNG.
He's trying to control the area. Like, he's trying to get this ward taken out, trying to get ward coverage on that right side, but NIP, they're too set up for it. I don't know why Saberlight TP mid. That was very weird. I guess he just is scared to go back top immediately. But now, I mean, S4 is huge now. So Saberlight, his life is a lot harder now after that long
Radiant
death.
are scanning.
Just, again, I'm an area of
Radiant's
Misha. They
middle
just want to
tower
keep
is
sitting
under
around here. They get stunned on someone, Supreme's going to back them up. They'll get the kill.
Creeping while you are
I feel like Nico Baby's probably real happy about this. It's like, whatever, our Zeus isn't dying. Like, we're getting free farm now on the PA as well as our Elder Titan. And they did not actually take out the tower. It does survive. They got a lot of damage on it, though. We will see FNG. He's walking over. Finally getting time to clear these wards out. Putting his own ops ward, too. And he's actually going to deny his own ward immediately to not give them the gold because he knows that they're aware of it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some big brain plays, right? You know that ward is going to get taken away because, yeah, as you said, you know that NIP is incredibly aware that you're trying to take that area down.
They're pinging it too. They might even like walk over and put a sentry and just be like, what?
Brain stuff from FNG. They're going to roll in once the Supreme. They've got the burst they have. They take down the Storm in time. Era's going to come in with a combo, but FNG's there with the protection onto Lip. As now Alliance turn and they'll
middle tower
secure themselves a
is under
second. Solid hold there and silence of Hansken and root of FNG. They've got good amounts of control to deal with the Storm early on. And Alliance with that play are able to secure the area to deny that mid tower.
Yeah, very nicely done. With that point, of course, like you said, just like that little silences, little chain stuns, and more than enough damage. Even though you don't have lightning bolts, you know, this arc lightning is very powerful when it's maxed up. Spam ability is insane. It's pretty funny that it does not change mana cost.
You had a TP up, the Storm's going to go for a play, but immediately FNG's over with the protection. He's able to keep S4 safe and alive, and now Supreme's got to be a little careful. He's going to commit everything to try and fight S4. S4 will go down, but now they're hit by the ult. Hansken off the mark, though, with the roll. So Supreme and Charlie, they are going to be able to get away with that kill.
That was close. He had so much armor from his spirit. I think he was up to plus 14 armor. Almost gets built out under the tower.
Supreme, they want to go for more as well, NIP. They're hanging around this tower, looking towards FNG and Hansken.
They see them, though. That sentry is... The Obs is down, so they did see Supreme at least for a second.
Limp's coming down as well. He knows that they're looking for action. Hansken again trying to find a catch on Supreme, but he's not finding the connection with these rolls. Does still hit the silent. The Purifying Flames, they've got enough burst. It's very close, but not enough. Supreme got the pop the one, get out to the side. Hansken tries to chase on forward, but Era with a beautiful 3-man avalanche puts a stop to the chase.
Very calm there on Supreme, knowing that the damage is very telegraphed, because there was no lightning bolt skill. There, if there's a point in lightning bolt, perhaps he does die, as it catches him off guard with the mini stun, but 4-0-3 on Limp.
Dire's top
Very
tower
even start
is
here,
under
5-5 actually, dead even. Experience slightly leading for Alliance here.
Hansken has shot ahead of it towards that bounty rune. Have they got enough burst to take him out? FNG, can he save him? He can. On the Thunderbolt breath comes out as he nukes down Supreme low. Oh, he's so low to kill him off. FNG will fall. Supreme staying alive. As Alliance trying to fight around that bounty rune timing, but NIP just having the favorable amount of numbers.
Radiant's bottom
Once all this time
tower
goes
is under
on,
attack.
Baby continues to find space. He's built up the sort of early stout items, has the tread drums complete. We'll be going for the Deso next. So very much gearing up to fight.
He doesn't have any type of amplify for himself like we usually see. Sure, he has the ET aura in the later stages, but he needs some type of thing to get himself raised.
He's managed to get himself on top of Limp. This control is enough for Era to reach and catch him with the avalanche. Hansken going to roll forward, but already they've managed to get the kill. Can they get the return kill on Supreme? Question, they'll find the roots, but a little bit mana left to zip out, but the magnetize is kept going by Hansken. And this time round, they will manage to get Supreme. Hansken, he's not even done yet. He's going to dive in on towards Era. Era with the toss back. Hansken Spirit far enough away from himself. So Era will live. Baby, the help of S4 getting some action. I mean, it's just sort of constant fighting all across the map. I mean, you look at the heroes on both teams. There's not really that many long cooldowns, especially at this part of the game, right? Everybody it's ready to fight.
Bounty.
Yeah, but I think on the side of NIP, you'd like to be the ones kind of leading the charge and winning these fights, though. You're playing into a PA. You want to be the ones really determining the game. You have Lifestealer, Beastmaster, and Storm. You kind of have to be the ones on the aggressive. As Nico Baby bottom, I think he like killed the book off or something.
No, he did. He took down the book at it.
Okay.
I mean, you saw the pings immediately. Misha was like, dude, we gotta go on this. He's so low. Maybe Supreme can still find a chance to get him. Supreme's got full mana if he's able to get
FNG's here though. It's got false promise. This is can be a risky dive here.
They've got to somehow get on top of FNG, whether it be Era or Supreme. But FNG's playing it smart. Straight in the trees. He knows that as long as he stays hidden, Nico Baby's going to be very safe in this position.
Tanky too, right? 1300 HP even without the talent, without the 175
Dyer's
HP
middle
talent.
tower is
S4,
under
he's going to walk up into the combo of Era and Supreme, and S4, he's going to walk up into his death. And straight away, he goes down. FNG not able to come across in time with a false promise. The root's going to play onto Era. Handscan, we'll see what sort of target he wants to go for. Turning over the water, he swaps himself to the side, but the Thunder God's Wrath kills him off. Magnetized down from Handscan. It's onto the three of them. And Handscan keep this going. The dagger's out onto Saberlight. Slow won't connect onto the two of them, but Nico Baby can jump in onto Saberlight.
Another book though. Free farm. That's the second book that he's used that's just been given freely to Nico Baby as well as +1 to kill it.
He's going to get this death at a pretty good time. I mean, you consider sort of the start of the laning phase for Nico Baby with all that pressure that's put onto him. That's totally been forgotten now. As he sits there, you know, highest on his team up there with Limp, and with this Treads, Drums, Deso build, but already he's getting incredibly active. He's 2-0-2. But once the Deso's complete, any sort of silence or root, any of these heroes on NRP are going to get blown up. Era.
Radiant's top tower is
Under
under
the chase, Supreme is going to go for the backline. Straight in onto Limp. Pulls him in with the combo. They burst down one. Ult comes out, holding back Supreme and Charlie momentarily, but Supreme, he's still got mana to play with. Zipping in, looking for Handscan, but now the tank's running a little low for Supreme. Nico Baby's come over with the TP, jumps in over to Supreme. Supreme trying to get to the side of the last bit of mana, pops the one charges, he's fine. He's also got an arcane ring to work with. The ball comes out onto Handscan, Handscan down, and now FNG split apart. NIP, they overrun a third.
Nice reaction by NIP. Era doesn't even die. He was the one who got initiated on in the start of all of it, but been able to show up there. Quick swaps, Limp. Like you said, it always looks like Limp is going to be out of position this game. There's so many different ways for them to get on top of him. Supreme always doing so as he's pretty much got the Orchid finished. Yeah, he has it. Very early timing for the Storm Spirit.
Huzzah!
Pressure on FNG to help against that. Be there to back up the cause, and sure, you know, we've seen sort of Limp go down a couple of times, but again, Nico Baby just never being caught in a position where they're actually able to sort of fight the PA. They are yet to kill Nico Baby. The same to be said, of course, for Charlie over the other side. He's gone for this armlet and straight into the AC, trying to build up in a method that's going to help him massively so against the physical burst from this S4 ET and Nico Baby PA combo.
Exactly. Any type of plus armor items is what you want to do versus an ET, and these are the two best ones. Lifestealer is actually one of the better heroes versus ET, period. Better carries, because you're a strength hero. You don't really care too much about that aura. You have Rage built in too to counteract it. Perfect item build that he is going to be going for there. And now they have the blink on Era, so we're talking about NIP very strong in these first 15-20 minutes. They're pretty much hitting all these peak timings that they can really run away with this next bit here.
I think so the big focus for NIP is if they can slow down Nico Baby's game, then they're going to be feeling very happy with the position they're in.
Yeah.
As you know, they still know if Nico Baby hits 12, gets the Deso, they find any sort of setup alliance.
Dire are scanning.
NIP's just going to lose a hero at the start of every single fight, just down to the high intensive physical burst of this hero. Mid lane. Standing up behind Nico Baby.
My real big concern, I guess, for NIP would just be how poor this Beastmaster is. The other two are doing phenomenal, but Saberlight just keeps getting caught.
Got the swap out, and he's able to save him, but Saberlight's still incredibly low, still fights the Raw, but the stun takes him out. S4's been able to take him. Charlie's going in with the Rage looking for Handscan, but Handscan's out with a rollaway. Charlie can't commit for the kill. He's into the C-Script looking for the retreat. Handscan closed the gap on Era. They found the Magnetize, the Silent as well.
Ooh, the
Nico Baby gets the dagger in. That's going to be a dead Tiny for sure. Over in the mid, Supreme, he's tried to go in on this. Will have to zip out to the side. He's got to get his way out of it. Era actually ends up surviving somehow as well. The stick charges
is under attack.
They're only just up.
And this is the hero that I'm very concerned about. It's every single time. I feel like Saberlight's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And again, it was a book that he summoned and died instantly. I think that's the third or fourth book that I've seen Alliance able to farm from him. And they, yeah, like I said, they just keep finding him over and over again at the starts of the fights. It's definitely a concern as this is their strong window, right? This is when NIP should be kind of cruising through this game. Can't be making these type of mistakes. Constant, they'll see him bottom, and Supreme should be able to set up for a free Earth Spirit kill at least.
I leave you with your precious dirt.
Getting the action he's really been open for with this Orchid. Seeing what sort of snipes they can find.
He's doing a very good job. Him and Charlie keeping it up there. Just Saberlight needs to be a little more cautious. So very important for this team.
I think that's the timing. The Deso done on Nico, baby. Deso done, level 12. This PA is, she's about to turn up in style.
Yeah, she's going to start to be quite a big problem with the backup of FNG behind. And IP wants to be more ahead of this with their draft. Charlie. He's getting close to this AC. He's only 800 gold away from AC. This is
yeah, he's still incredibly farm.
This is a big boy.
Right, they're looking at Roche. I mean, sure, with the Deso and the points in blur, they can do it relatively safe. But I mean, surely NRP's going to contest. Surely NRP's going to be aware of this. I don't know if he can fully commit. They'll smoke out of the Roche. They want to try and get a jump on mid. They get the silence. Hanscap, he found the setup into the stun. Charlie's gone. Hanscap with a beautiful catch. He's not done yet. Rolls over to find Misha as well, as Misha tried to get in range to offer a swap out to safety for Charlie, but he couldn't do so. Could not get in on it, and it cost him his own life as well. And this is the scary part of the game, you know, with this sort of treads drunk so timing. Every time that Hanscap finds that sort of send up, Nico baby, he is going to be able to get that kill. The duration of the stun and the silence, the Earth Spirit at this stage, it's more than enough for Nico baby to kill anyone, even these bigger targets like Charlie on the livestream.
Yeah, it's still the overwhelming damage that comes out. Sure, the physical wasn't like the crazy one there. It's actually just the level 4 natural order plus all that magic damage. Just goodbye. That's the one thing ET always gives you. And instead of taking mid tower, they're gonna go for Roche. And we're gonna see an FP. They're gonna get something to trade out of it at least here. Saberlight will take out bottom tower. But yeah, Nico baby's got an Aegis now, and you just shut down Charlie, who's having a free farm game.
Still, see how much of a difference that AC does make. Maybe once he has that, he's less liable to being burst.
Still that magic damage he has to worry about, right? Like he can just get chain stunned, chain silenced.
Yeah, Misha's just got to be around. They need that swap to be there. Charlie has to be saved. If they let Charlie go down, it's, you know, sure, Supreme is still incredibly strong in these fights, but before he has any sort of defensive item, these silences and roots can still cause an issue. We see with the build, he does want to go for sort of the dream build, right? This Orchid into Bloodstone, but you know, it really is going to put so much pressure onto Misha to make these swap saves when his cores get caught in the silences.
Yep. Saberlight continuing to just pressure bottom now with this book. He's trying to force some reactions. The big thing about this game is really just going to be so much of these initiations and vision, because I feel like NIP, they should be playing with vision advantage in the fights. They should have the Hawk a lot of the times.
Maybe. He's found Saberlight. Oh, he's gone. Couldn't even get the roar out.
And he feeds the book. Oh, Nico baby got the book before it disappears.
He just gets so much money from this. This BKB is going to be flying out in no time after the death. So
yeah. Another time that Saberlight gets caught. I can see that time. That was I'm okay with that he dies there, because like he was trying to like inch himself in afterwards after they left the creep wave, and then maybe just keep poking and being annoying. But yeah, it's 6 deaths for him so far. He's really struggling here. Lions just in a very comfortable spot. Like they want this game to just keep continuing. They want this game to slow down. All these nice little moments for them is the dream.
Setting up now for the tier 1 tower down bottom. NIP, what sort of a defense can they come out with? They are ready. They've got a smoke on error. Maybe seeing if they can get the wrap around, try and get to the back lines, try and find FNG's Oracle.
Got the Infest Bomb, yeah. So like we said, a lot about initiation and vision. The Hawk is still on cooldown.
Radiant are scanning.
And they're walking right up.
Heading up. Yeah, Hanscap knows what's up. He made the first through. They'll jump straight around to Hanskin. Hanskin goes down now. Charlie, he's over towards FNG, trying to find this Oracle. The Roar is down onto Nico Baby, holding back the PA for now. Charlie and Supreme will manage to kill off FNG. They've taken 2. What more can they find? Straight over towards them. Double kill for Supreme. They're ready to clean up more. Magic Missile out to S4. It's only Nico Baby left as the triple kills there for Supreme. They're running down towards this PA. Are they able to get in range for a swap? Misha trying his best to close the gap. Nico Baby with that jump over to the neutral camp should manage to make it away. Supreme, not enough mana to chase for that, but big moves. The smoke pays off beautifully. It starts a little messy with Saberlight revealing himself, but it kind of worked out because suddenly the focus was drawn, and you see just immediately that they're always going to have somebody on NIP that can go straight for sort of the backline, straight for FNG whenever they get the vision.
Yeah, they actually found FNG and Goal standing right on top of each other. So instant panic from the two of them there as S4 wasn't there. They didn't have their front line tankiness, and Hanskin was already dead too. So it was kind of this perfect situation for NIP that Alliance walked into there. One thing they do
strong as well, fighting around this AC. Having this extra aura at this stage does make all the difference when you get it as early as he does. You know, as this Lifestealer armor into the AC. That aura very, very strong at this point in the game.
Especially with like the Venge too, like your Wave of Terrors and all that. That's weird. We're seeing the way that fight starts, right? Hanskin's dead immediately, S4 stop, doesn't connect on anybody, and the whole fight split up, which is absolutely perfect for NIP.
Lions try and actually come in with the smoke themselves. Nico Baby baiting up some action as he pushes it onto the tier 1. No response from NIP for that.
About 50 seconds left on Aegis, so they're trying to just get as much as they can out of this here.
A line has been drawn for Saberlight. As soon as the line's drawn, Saberlight's out of the area. So this time around, nothing to be found with this. It was definitely a bit of a big sweep for Alliance to make the line, to just take all 5 of them down towards it. Saberlight well and truly out of the area before they're anywhere near.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like they're maybe expecting someone to be hiding behind your Nico Baby was even like blurred walking along the tree line for a second.
Let the fun
But
begin.
they have to address this lane. It's a constant threat that's coming out from Saberlight. They'll do back up and farm. Bloodstone now finished on Supreme. I believe the Bloodstone is also close to being done on Limp. I did see that he was building up for that.
Yeah, just about 800 gold away from finishing the kite.
Guess he wants the Bloodstone heal if he does get false promised or if he gets full committed on. Could definitely be something kind of interesting for him as Aegis is reclaimed. See what NIP is able to get.
Perfect timing with the smoke movement. Alliance, they're aware that, you know, NIP is going to be keeping track of that timing. They're all grouped around the tier 2. They know that NIP is going to be out on the hunt.
Such good vision down too. They put this ward down. They have the Hawk available soon, about 5 seconds. They have both. They have everything ready.
Supreme, who does he want to go for? Already everything with the jump straight around to Limp, but the false promise comes out from FNG, keeping Limp alive. Silence out of both Charlie and Supreme. Nico Baby jumps over towards Supreme, but the silence comes to an end. Supreme keeps himself alive. He's kiting up S4, trying to deal with the Elder Titan. They've lost the Earth Spirit. Nico Baby with the BKB comes over towards Saberlight. The swap from Misha gets Saberlight out to the side, so Nico Baby, he can't quite finish off the kill. Another swap, Saberlight still goes down to the final dagger for Nico Baby as Nico Baby finds the crit, but the stuns are there. FNG providing the magic safety as he's able to give time for Nico Baby to jump out, magnetize as well onto the 3 of them. See if they can get back in onto NIP as they're eyeing up Error. Error will fall. Alliance turning it around, but does require the buyback from Hanskin there to secure a 2 versus 2.
Well worth it though. I actually think that buyback is huge. He's able to actually kind of bail out Nico Baby, who might have been in a tough situation too. And they didn't focus Limp down. They stopped as soon as False Promise dropped. I think they thought they had him. He lives with low HP, gets his whole entire mana pool out as S4 is distracting in the backline on Supreme. Supreme had to kind of just disengage in the middle of the fight there. Couldn't stick onto this Zeus. A big hold in that area for Alliance. Yeah, when FNG survives throughout a whole fight, you know that Alliance is probably going to be looking pretty decent in it. This Zeus and this Oracle have to still be the main focus of NIP. They're ready to go again immediately, though. Yeah,
as soon as they're back on the map, Supreme's ready to take Charlie to the front lines.
It's 3/4 mana, though, not full. They're trying to fight around this Zeus ult and Earth Spirit ult, and False Promise cooldown still, about 10 seconds on it.
Scan out as well. I mean, they're fully aware that Alliance are waiting here on the high ground.
Nico Baby also did get a bit of a time in as well. He got his Basher and his level 18 finished after that fight. One shots the Necro Book.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Both teams just staying grouped right together as 5. We've seen just
Dyer's
constant
top
clashes
tower
between
is
them in the
under attack.
5v5s. From a 3k lead for NIP to the point where they do just have these 2 cores coming out on top of Supreme and Charlie. Very, very big.
Dyer's top
Whereas
tower
with
is
Alliance,
under
it's
attack.
a little more weighted onto the shoulders of Nico, baby, holding that top spot.
He will have S4 getting to be an actual force in this game soon, though. Aghanims really, like we've always said, Aghanims just changes the way ET can play, because rather than sitting back and have to be a little more careful, now he's just going to be in the face of everybody. And then he's going to be able to just pair and be buddy-buddy with Nico, baby, to focus fires and kills. He still doesn't have it, though. One more piece needed.
Ken. Just for Misha here. Has to find a stop for Supreme. He's going to be straight onto Hanskin. Hanskin's just going to die now. Supreme is looking for more. He's trying to get over towards FNG. Doesn't manage to get the Orchid out to FNG, so he's silenced for now. S4 in trouble, but finally FNG's able to find the chance to get the false promise off. They're bailing. They're cutting him out for now, waiting out the false promise. But did they want to go back in? Supreme still with about half of his mana pool to play with. And S4, he still ended up very long HP. S4 will the BKB's out, but they've got the Roar. Do they have the damage? They're punching into him. The Glimmer Cape comes out, giving Nico Baby the chance to jump out to the side.
Radiant
Nico Baby gets away.
are fortified.
2 down on Alliance. NIP winning the fight, pushing Alliance right back up to the high ground.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
An excellent job each time, just causing such chaos. They've got so many ways to initiate NIP.
Yeah, and there's
Radiant's
Misha who's
middle tower
getting
is
started on,
falling.
and that's like the best. You know, Misha's like, this is perfect. And they get a nice little setup with the Infest Bomb onto the Initiator again, like Hanskin. I think the panel touched on it too, is how important his game is going to be, because he is that main initiator for his team. He's getting punished a lot of the times here, trying to roll in. And now Misha, a full pipe. Naked pipe on this 5-position bench, and it's a good game for it versus
That's
Zeus,
huge.
as well as their Spirit.
No doubt it. Starting to head out. Alliance as they do respawn.
They need to get rid of this ward. Limp is trying to blast it. He's so scared of the Storm Zip with the Infest, though. They can't actually commit for it.
I mean, yeah, look at them. NIP, they're ready to pounce. Supreme said like Misha and Charlie, ready to go. Just checking things out around the cliff spot. They did get any wards down, but also, as it was, Alliance did not. Alliance again, just having to play definitely a bit more defensive in comparison to that NIP. As it really NIP with a hunt, and NIP straight in onto FNG. FNG's got the wall down to Limp. Limp's going to go down. They do lose Supreme this time round. BKB pop line for Kabemi. Can he turn this one around? He looks towards Era, but Era's walked down to the side. Is a triple kill for Charlie. This light kill is just cleaning up another bash into play as Charlie flames a board. NIP, they are blowing Alliance away in these fights right now. 4
Radiant's
kills.
top tower is
They'll
falling.
happily lose Supreme for that trade. As they just go for it straight away, no hesitation,
Radiant's top tower is
immediately,
under attack.
relentlessly on top of Alliance, and Alliance just aren't prepared to deal with this sort of power that they have right now.
Radiant's
NIP,
top tower
they're
is
into the
falling.
base. It's 29 minutes. Alliance have got 3 dead. They cannot
Radiant's
hold
top
these
tower
racks
is
between the
falling.
AC and the Necro Book
Radiant's
and the
top
Beastmaster
tower
Aura.
is falling.
These racks just get destroyed.
Yeah, and he has the Orb of Destruction 2 on top, a little bit more minus armor. Yeah, huge fight. NIP literally, you can't ask for a better fight. They literally kill the Oracle instantly, they kill the Zeus instantly before anything even comes down. Now they're in a firm lead, and now they can probably look to threaten Roche too, or just claim this high ground here. As yeah, Misha, he puts down the ward. And they have a real good positioning here. So Alliance is coming out.
Hey, he's going to put a stop to it all. He swats Limp up to the high ground. Errors into the combo. Once he's even in the Limp, he's falling low. We'll get the Bloodstone here as well as the false promise onto himself as Limp will live for now. Charlie works towards Hanskin. Hanskin attempts to roll away. The crash is there for Charlie. Hanskin is dead. Zipping from Supreme. He's got the control onto S4. And Saberlight comes down with the ball. He's managed to control Nico Baby. Nico Baby, he's got the BKB. He gets it out just in time, but he's already so low. He's got to jump out of it. He's got to be very careful if he wants to try and re-engage, because he's down 2 members on the side of Alliance. Once again, forced back to the base. Stepping up into the high ground was NIP. They were hovering around the area. And once again, NIP just coming out top of these trades. They're 9k ahead. Roshan is up. This will be theirs for the taking.
Yeah, great shot calling by NIP. Whoever just made the call. Wait, let's wait on this high ground here. Don't commit for the Roche. Wait for the next fight. Yeah, great prediction play coming out there. And again, finding the right target. They just keep ruining S4. S4 has had the point booster drum, and 2,000 gold, I swear, for 10 minutes now. Maybe even longer. It looks like he's never going to get the Aghanim because of the way that NIP is playing. And that does reduce his potential a lot inside the fight for his team.
I mean, this next fight are just going to be so hard. You know, now they've got the cheese and the Aegis on NIP. Charlie, he's put full MKB on its way out. Nico, baby, what's he doing?
No!
Wait, what was he doing?
Dying. I'm not sure.
He was out there. He was on a right little road trip, and well, he's dead. He's dead for a minute. He's out of the game. That might just straight up be another set of racks confog.
I think it just might be. I think they can just walk back up with Aegis, cheese, with everything.
He's got buyback. He just got enough money for buyback. He might need to use it if
he might need to use
try
it,
and force this.
I don't know how well they can hold. They do have Zeus ET, but like we said, there's so many ways into the back lines. NIP, how are they going to force it? Let's see.
Straight up to the high ground. Let's just look at the speed that they're taking these buildings.
Radiant's
Tier 3's down. Holding on to buyback. Set Blaze in with the ball. Straight up to Limp. Look at this. Supreme. Zip straight onto him. The Force Promise is going to come out. They haven't got the silence. They'll be able to take him down, but he's got the Aegis. He's ready for round 2. The question is, are Alliance ready to get the sun in time? They do manage to find the timing. Hans gets hit by Misha. With a swap out to the sun, Supreme gets the chance to put the BKB. He will live. Misha will lose his life for this. Hanskin's looking to try and chase for more. Pushing NIP back. Can he find it? Gun hit onto Error. Error backing off Hanskin. Another roll forward, getting the vision for the team. Trying to land Nico Baby. Chase this one down, but Supreme, he turns. He's got Charlie inside him. Nico Baby's coming for this one. Gets the BKB out. But Charlie is backing Nico Baby up, and he's got the MKB. Nico Baby's got to run. He's got to be careful. Now he turns his attention over towards FNG. Charlie, he's just charging straight back in. Error hits onto both S4 and him with the avalanche. S4 goes down. Charlie turns over towards him, and the Slip's going to be left behind. He's out of the game. To be dead, there'll be a buyback from Lim, but FNG, there's no saving him. The Vortex drags him back. He'll buy a little bit of time for himself with the Glimmer Cape. Goes for the TP. Can they find him? They do, and he's out.
Radiant's
Oh my
bottom
goodness, he's out.
under attack.
FNG will live, but the rat
Over chase. Alliance, the strongest part about their team is really their high ground defense. They get baited to chase too far there by NIP, and NIP easily turns it.
It was a risky chase.
Radiant
It was a very
structures
risky chase. One that did not pay off. I mean, you definitely got to feel it. Alliance, they're going to know they're behind. Maybe they just felt that they had to try for something. It was a risk that they took, and just a risk that ended up hitting them hard yet again, falling further and further behind NIP.
Their big strength, though, like we said, it's really about that high ground. They couldn't chase that far. They had to be a little bit quicker on it with the
Radiant's
buyback.
courier has been killed.
A couple mistakes there from Alliance, and NIP now in an extremely comfortable position here. Everyone farming across the map. Charlie's enormous.
This Lexi was insane. 11, 1, and 10 this game, Charlie. Off the MKB, he's ready to play it safe, get a BKB. I mean, at that point, he can pretty much step up the duration of a Rage, BKB Rage. He's probably just going to end the game himself. Very, very scary times. DD on the top as well. He's going to grab that up and
infest it up. He's ready anytime. Just see somebody outside, jump straight onto him. The Zeus limp. Whole time he has gone on, getting gone on. He can't save everybody on FNG.
No, he's trying his best, FNG. He really is. I mean, he's getting the false promises off. It's just too hard right now, it seems. They just fight through the false promise. It's far too much damage for any of Alliance to be able to keep off themselves.
Yeah, and poor Nico Baby, his BKB's 5 seconds, and these heroes now they're tanky on NIP, so he has to make this BKB really count. He has to get like 2 kills in 5 seconds.
And it's hard. I mean, we're seeing sort of, Miksha, these swaps that they are separating heroes from Nico Baby. Nico Baby's trying to go in, and sure, he has got gap close, but those few seconds where he's already Phantom Striked in and he's not on a target, that's attack speed and potential lost, and Misha has been messing with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, this bench play has been definitely on point. Majority of NIP has actually been on point. Saberlight's the only one for me that a couple of his deaths are a little questionable, but across the board, they've had really strong execution.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of similar to what we saw the other day. This is, NIP is bringing out performances here that we just haven't seen from them in a lot of the previous tournaments. They have without a doubt improved, and they are just looking a whole lot better here at ESL in Germany.
Yeah, I'm loving when it's not like one player just like playing that great. It's the team. You can feel that team orientation, that somebody's making calls, people are listening. It's always a nice thing to see. The Lions, trapping their base, trying desperately to find something to farm. Ags finished on ET, so like we said, S4 much stronger now if he can stand toe-to-toe, if he can get in with Nico, baby. But 22k deficit.
Scanning.
And the problem is, it's just that any of these heroes died to Charlie. You know, Abyssal Blade done. Charlie just gets in on a hero, but he's going to get the kill. Doesn't even matter, you know, BKB or not. Unless you're the hero that's getting false promise, you're going to die during that initiation. $22k lead for NIP is gearing up for that final push to the high ground, final set of racks standing for Alliance.
Yeah, they also know how strong Alliance's high ground defense is with that ET and that Zeus is constantly spamming. So they are giving some respect to it to finish up their next few items here. Supreme, yeah, his Shivas is about to be done. See a couple things that they are going to be picking up. Let's see if Alliance does get baited to come outside at any point here, because I think that's the biggest scare is if they do walk outside. I think that's their, they just can't do that. They just cannot do that versus IP. Spell Prism. Yeah, Alliance is not going to be able to walk out and farm their neutral. Immediately. Second, he shows space.
You can't get yourself outside the base of Misha. Yeah, second swap set up onto S4. S4 will manage to get out with that Astral buff. Thunder Gosrath used there as well, just to sort of give Alliance info on the whereabouts of NIP, but they're going to see him right now, showing their head straight down the mid lane.
They're down. They have vision inside of the base. Supreme waiting for the option to go.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
FNG sitting as far back as possible.
Where is it? He's got the top back. Lips in trouble. Lips getting dragged inside the vortex. He needs to save. He's going to get it. FNG comes with a false promise. Straight away, Supreme with the BKB committing onto the back line. Finds the Oracle. FNG goes down. S4 having to run away. They'll surround this poor old Earth Spirit. Hanscam brought back for this. Instantly ends up going down a second time. He's out to 75. NIP, they've got the 2 kills there. Will reset a little bit. A little low themselves in the mana when it's to Supreme and Charlie, not quite a full HP, so they'll hold on.
Radiant's middle
they know at this point
barracks
there's no
are under
real
attack.
need to rush it. They're in a incredibly comfortable position, NIP.
Really nice toss back. Get everybody out of position there completely to start it off. The buyback. S4, he's struggling right now, but
Charlie, sorry, match community is going to come to an end. So S4 likely goes down. Supreme does it in. Everything going to change to the control they haven't. Supreme will live. Nico baby goes down. Everybody dead on Alliance. GG is called.
Radiant's middle
And
barracks are
NIP
under attack.
bringing out quite the performance here in this game 1. At the start of it all, looked to be a relatively even start between the 2 teams, but once NIP started to gain the lead, they never really looked back. It was sort of their game onward.